Everybody get up! Everybody needs to understand that I'm more than simply a hype man for this rap group. Just like Geico is more than just a company that can save you money. Geico also has fast and friendly claim service, so they can help you when you need it most. And while I do love being a hype man, I also love reading for children's audiobooks. Like Little Bo Peep, she lost the sheep, and she don't know where to find them. Yo!
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio in high fidelity.
Jimmy Mack is a renowned medical intuitive and spiritual life coach who has taken, completed, and even mastered a variety of healing modalities. After a near-death experience, he was shown and developed a simpler way to create healing and profound changes, now known as My Liquid Fish. He works with clients in person, on the phone, and over Skype worldwide, accessing energetic powers and co-creating changes that you can actually feel. Call in now to reserve your spot on the switchboard. The call-in number is 713-955-0594. Press 1 if you would like to ask Jimmy Mack a question. Enjoy this 1 hour of profound healing.
Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Mack coming to you live from Florida. Hopefully you're having a great day and an excellent week. We hope to make it even better today, of course. And we feel like we're past our 3 days of winter. I've seen some of the pictures on the internet. Holy moly, catfish still out in North Dakota or wherever. They've got like whiteouts. We just have palm trees and a little breeze, and it's been really warm lately. So we're so fortunate, so lucky. I used to joke when Cuba opens up, I'm going to move there. I'm going to get as hot and as warm as I can get. Key West will work until Cuba's totally okay to go to no matter what. It's kind of funny. But anyway, everything's great. Hope you are too. Little housekeeping. Next week we have Muriel, and she's actually from Scotland, and it's celestialhealinglight.com if you want to check her out. She works on animals and people worldwide on Skype, and she's going to be dialing in next week, and she'll be our guest on the show. Got an incredible lineup also for the rest of this month. April and May are even more incredible. I've reached out to a lot of different intuitives and different people with some pretty wild skills, and some people have reached out to me wanting, requesting to be on the show. So we're booking them all as fast as we can, as much. We want to really make it as interesting for you, and certainly I want it to be interesting as well. So it's certainly a labor of love. We're glad everybody's here. If you're going to ask for some form of healing, pick one of your top 10 things, not all 10, because it is a radio show. We want to everybody we can. You want to be in a quiet place and at least have the ability to be hands-free, hydrated, hopefully, and figure out which ways due north. And if you do this ahead of time, you'll be really ahead of the game, and you'll enjoy it much better. And so life is good. Appreciate you being here. Reach out anytime, jimmymackhealing.com. Anyone that emails us, it's info@jimmymackhealing.com. And we send out all kinds of free ebooks and videos and audios and copies of radio shows and a lot of things that aren't even readily available on the web and that aren't even made public. And we just give those away for folks that sign up for our weekly e-newsletter. We have a book out now, just came out last week. The final sales day will be this coming Friday, and it's Healing A to Z. You actually look up any sickness, illness, disease, or disorder. It's so funny I'm saying this as the ambulance is going by, right? There's an irony. And then it will give you a positive statement to work on, a negative statement to clear, generally some ideas for nutritional research or other concepts that perhaps you can work on and heal yourself naturally. we talk all the time about, I tell folks, if you break your water as a woman or you break your arm, don't come to my house. Certainly go to the hospital. And, there's certainly a need for Western medicine. We love all those folks. And if you got a rebar pole hanging out of your shoulder, for the love of God, go to the ER. But if you've been to the doctor 5 times and they shrug their shoulder and you're on your 10th medication and we don't know and we can't help you, alternative is where you want to be. So reach out anytime. We'll help you any way we can. Excited about today's co-host with me. That's really what I call it. They're always co-hosts with me, and that's always exciting. And I can't wait to get into some short discussions with her. It's Sharita Star. She's an astrologer, numerologist, author, and speaker. You can find out more about her at sharitastar.com. It's SHARITASTAR.com. And I really feel like February has been just bizarre all over the map. Some days we're just dead silent. Next day is frantic, busy, and everybody wants a session. They want to hurry up and buy stuff. And the next day, dead silent. So it's been all over the map, I'm sure, as far as the outer interstellar, eclipsing, Mercury retrograde-ish kind of other planets and star storms, if you will. So I can't wait to ask her about that. So, hey, Sharita Star, how are you today? We're happy you're here.
Very, very nice to be here again, Jimmy, and with you and your listeners. I'm doing very well. Up in the Northeast, though, we're still trying to move out of winter, but under Pisces, it's going to fluctuate until we get past probably March in this area of our country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of the Pisces dreamer, wishy-washy thing, and then that's from somebody who's Leo with Pisces all throughout my chart. I love them, but wow, I get what you're saying.
You like your warmth. Leos like the sun. They're born in the middle of the summer, so typically, I don't know many Leos that don't like being warm, or being near water, or being in that kind of atmosphere. But it's interesting. Being we are again under the sign of Pisces, our sun is in Pisces right now, and so anytime, and Pisces being a communicator sign, it's a mutable energy. So that is why we fluctuate, because we're about to enter another season, because we'll have the spring equinox coming up on the 20th of March already. Believe it or not, we're heading into spring. So the winter will officially be over, though, depending on where you live in the country, you may get a little lingering things. And I heard you mention before about all that kind of how February was so topsy-turvy, and of course February was eclipse month. So we had lunar and a solar eclipse in February, which of course when we have eclipses, we have a lot of up and down energy. So you described it pretty much on the nose of it was one way one day, and then it was like kind of the opposite the next. And eclipses will, when even though their effects will last 6 months up to a year's time of, so these two that just happened will have that kind of effect. And one was from the lunar eclipse was in Leo. So Leo energy is kind of letting go and reflecting and really getting ready for the next solar eclipse that'll happen, which will be in Leo in the summertime. That's the Great American Solar Eclipse that'll be coming up on August 21st. And then we had our last solar eclipse in Pisces on the 26th of February. So, and that was the third one that had happened in Pisces for the last about a year. So the Pisces really got hit with eclipses. Pisces and Virgo got hit with a lot of eclipses over the past year and a half. But everything's going to be shifting towards the Aquarius and Leo sector of the zodiac now. So, get ready.
Well, feel like it's get ready good, bad, or just busy, or a little bit of everything?
Well, when, right now, Leo energy, and of course you don't have to be a Leo to be experiencing this. It is, and again, knowing your natal birth chart is the key to really understanding how any cycle in astrology is affecting you, whether it be lunar. We have an upcoming Mercury retrograde in April and May, And we will also, and as I know we were planning on discussing today, what is going on right now with the Venus retrograde. So that is currently in effect, just started on Saturday. But just to finish up quick with the eclipse, so wherever your Leo sits in your birth chart is where you are seeing a reflection, a kind of a letting go, a cleansing, maybe you want to call it healing as well, but there's a clearing out because the lunar eclipse had happened on February 10th on the full moon. So it's a letting go. It's things, kind of coming to conclusions and things getting out of the way. It's not so much an initiating energy. That's the one that'll come more so, the one that'll come on August 21st, which will be a solar eclipse in Leo. So what's energetically happening over these 6 months is like we're kind of preparing for what's going to come new from Leo by the time, we get to August of this year. So we'll see that. And, of course, the Pisces area of the life is where you're seeing another strong sense of new beginnings because we had one solar eclipse there a year ago. There was a lunar one last fall or last September, just before it hit fall. And now we've got one more. We had one more punch from Pisces. So the Pisces area of the life is really aligning in new things. There's also been new things coming. Pisces in general are seeing an entire new approach to their life. Things are really getting realigned in that way. But wherever Pisces sits in their chart, that's where you're seeing a big trigger of initiation. And that will unfold for the next 6 months up to a year's time.
Well, do me. Mine's August. Mine's both Leo and Pisces.
Where are you? Let's see. Yeah, I was looking at your chart.
August 19th, yeah.
So for you, the Pisces, well, because you're such a late, you're very, very late Aquarius ascendant. You just clicked it actually. So it is a new approach to your life. You're taking on all these new approaches to your life. Over, coming up over the next year. And it's interesting because you're in a 9 personal year cycle still through August. Because your birthday will pass again. It's interesting that eclipse coming, actually it's going to it'll conjunct your Uranus, it'll conjunct your Sun, it'll conjunct your North Node. So you're going to see new beginnings in the summertime and you're going to go into a 1 personal year as well. So this is a very pivotal time for you. You got a little more clearing to do, but you're really changing up how you are of service to people. You're going to see new ways that you're able to bring your work, into being. You'll change maybe some habits and routines. You'll notice that there'll be all sorts of kind of just different things and because you've got that very powerful conjunction in your chart of a Uranus conjunct the Sun, it's going to be kind of like, I want to say, hit you out of the blue. Like you even the best psychic couldn't tell you how it's going to actually happen. They can see maybe energetically something showing up, but it's like kind of like we don't know the way it's going to actually display itself to you. It'll be like very breakthrough, very unique ways that you're going to start changing how you are of service to yourself and to other people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree, and I haven't told you anything, so it's really it's profound and very interesting to me. So
yeah.
Well,
and
so
like I said, for you have very your numerical cycles and how your astrology cycles are working, or they're indicating very similar things. So you're going to get this very intensely because it's coming from both ways, because your theme past August, when you celebrate your birthday, is if it's new, it's for Jimmy.
I love it.
So yeah. So that's what I would say in a 1 personal year. If it's new, it's for you. That's it. You don't always say yes to everything, but you want to check it out before you say no.
True. So true. And it's so ironic, and you're speaking to both, Pisces and the Leo, and, I'm straight up Leo.
Yeah, and I mean,
you're
a 29-degree Aquarius ascendant. So all of Pisces is in your first house. So you approach your life like a Pisces. You've got that. So Pisces is up up close and personal for you. It's like when people see you in your appearance, and that's what your rising sign means. And yes, you do clip that very last degree of Aquarius, but you've got all of the Pisces in the first house as well. So when people meet you, they may not read that you're the Leo right away. Like you kind of wear, it's like I always say, your ascendant is like if you're at a masquerade ball and you're wearing the mask, your ascendant is the mask. And when you're ready to take the mask off, then the Leo comes out and plays. But the Pisces in that very last part of the Aquarius is what sort of protects you as you walk around the world. And it's also how you, again, approach your life. You have a very Piscean approach to how you do things, even Aquarius as well. And of course, with that, again, going back to your Uranus conjunct your natal sun, you always do things against the grain. You do things differently. You've never really been a follower by nature. You may have tried to be a follower at one point, but you realized that definitely was not your gig. It annoyed you more than anything. You're like, oh, God, this is not where I belong. We could have tried. We all have to try. Let's figure out where we don't fit in life. And, so you've got that enigma. You've got that
definitely spot on. Yeah. You know what I always say to people? I say I'm a Leo, but I'm not the Leo that can't pass the mirror Leo.
Yes.
So,
and you're also very inner. I want to say for a Leo, you're very inner Virgo, because your sun, your Leo sun, and that Uranus, it's all in the house of. It's the house that Virgo rules. You're a sixth house sun, so that's like the inner. Kind of want to say like you're. Like if you're like an actor on stage, which we all kind of are in our own ways, we have our inner work that we do, right, to become the character that we are in life. So for you to express the Leo side of you, you are like doing the character work like a Virgo on the inside, because you just love being of service to people. That's how you're going to give your heart in this life, is being of service to people. And here you are. And with the Pisces, so much on the surface, it's why you're in the healing, you're in the healing profession. Of course you were supposed to wind up there. You didn't expect to, but you got there anyway.
Yeah, that's a fact. My friend would say I walked all around the lake instead of going through it, but definitely, that's definitely a profound place.
Yeah.
And I'm all about give, and, give some more. And, oh, you like this shirt? Let me take it off. That's my thing. And even today's show
and you almost
all about
you also need to sometimes be a little guarded, because you are so giving. Like you've got that, I mean, it is. It's like you just pour it out, but you also have to fill your own cup up too, so you have to kind of check yourself sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. And seriously, through the years, I've become more aware, really more aware of doing some self-healing, self-work, get a massage, go to a chiropractor, go to my acupuncturist, go do whatever. I've got a lady who comes to the house and does foot reflexology, and more and more.
Love that. Oh, the
flow. Yeah, if things will flow on a personal day. Yeah, I'm going to just jam it full of, pampering me a little bit, because otherwise you just deplete yourself out. Hey, let's take a caller. 217 area code. You're on live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Shanna. I'm calling from Illinois.
Hi, your name is what?
Shanna.
Shanna. Okay. You have a question, Shanna? Astrological, numerological?
Well, I'm also a Leo, so I'm just curious as to, I guess, with the solar eclipse, where I'm at. I don't know if me and you are in the same house and things, and I don't know much about astrology, so I was just kind of listening to what she was saying.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure
so
when
is your
date of
actual
birth?
birthday? Just the day and the month, Shanna.
July 31st.
Okay. And of course, today we were supposed to be talking about Venus retrograde, which we haven't even gotten to, but we'll get into that as well. So for you, you're finishing up. It's very interesting, that you said you wanted to know about how the, what's going on with the eclipses, because you are in what we know as a 2 personal year. So the 2 personal year is lunar energy. working in your life. So it's a cooperative energy, sensitive. There's been a home, family life situation kind of stirring things up for you this year. You had a lot of new beginnings back in 2015. And you were in that break off of the last 9-year span of time from 2014 moving into 15. So that was the break. So you had all this new, again, what we were talking about, if it's new, it's for you. You did that 2015 through last summer. Now what you're doing is nurturing. And in a two-personal year, everything with what those lunar cycles are doing are very, very indicating of where all this stuff is happening in the chart. But being that the moon changes a sign every couple of days, it's why the year is so emotional, because everything's changing. It's almost like a roller coaster of the emotional ride, so to speak. So for Leo, of course, just looking at it from a solar perspective, which we were talking about with Jimmy, was his actual natal chart. So that was, I had his time of birth, and we had drawn that up prior to the show starting. But for Leo's overall, this lunar eclipse that just happened in February on the 10th is about letting go. Letting go of old approaches to your life, maybe changing up your appearance in the next few months. You're getting ready for really potent new beginnings that are going to be popping in this summer. And then, of course, you'll go into your 3 personal year, which is going to kind of lift you out of this emotional energy coming up coming up in the summertime. And for the Pisces eclipse, for the Leo, it is all about new beginnings in your wealth, your overall state of wealth, which is about beyond the monetary. It's beyond like, oh, I've got X amount of investments or this, that. But, of course, it does include that. But it's really about you gaining a different sense of your source energy. It was the second eclipse in a year, solar eclipse that happened in this area of the life for Leo. So it is, you're really feeling like you're going through a very potent regeneration and change overall. Leos are really getting a wallop, where everything's looking a little differently. But you can definitely look to this coming year, and what will be filtering in by the summertime is that you will have a whole, different sense of, I am taking on my life completely differently than I have done in years. It's just a total different way of taking on your life. It's not the way it's been. So Leos are going to have to get out of their comfort zones a little bit, because you can't do something different and keep doing the same thing, right? Right. So it's going to be different. So, and there's a lot of new learning coming into your life this year as well, Shanna, in the fall, by especially moving into the fall. Now, the other thing we've got going on is this Venus retrograde, which we were going to try to touch base about that today. And Venus, if anyone who's listening, if you understand what Mercury retrograde is, it's an interplanet cycle of reflection, recurs about every 3 to 4 months. Right now, we're under Venus retrograde. She's another inner planet. She's just second out from Mercury. Now, she doesn't deal with the same concepts of how a Mercury retrograde really creates all sorts of wackadoo upsets and, misinformation, arguments. Travel plans are messed up. Internet doesn't work right. Communications are off, so on and so forth. Venus deals with value. She deals with money. She deals with finances, securities, our relationships, art, beauty, music, all those types of things. So that's all under the review and redo microscope right now. It started March 4th. It's going to backtrack through April 15th. Get your taxes done early. Get them done, because what will be interesting is early in April, Mercury goes retrograde, coinciding with the tail end of the Venus retrograde. I would not want to be an accountant this year. They are going to be going nuts in April. I think it's going to be a mess. So get your taxes done this month, because it'll be much better off, because it'll be riddled with error if you do not do them before April. I can promise people that. For Leo, where this reflection is about the value of what you learn, your higher learning, your truth, your belief systems. This is where the Venus retrograde has started in Aries. And that's going to take us through April 2nd, and then it's going to backtrack into Pisces. So the Leo will get that same thing that's been going on with the eclipses about new stuff, but there's like a little bit of tidbit through April 15th, from the 2nd of April through the 15th, is you don't want to be making big moves about finances and your wealth over that time frame. You want to do some research. So it'll be a time to do a little restructuring of what is going, overall with that whole sense of wealth in your life. But Leos can expect a pretty powerful trigger of rebirth that will be going on during that last part of the Venus retrograde. So it's going to take you, again, out of the comfort zone a little bit, but that's how change happens best.
That's good. It's been a little stagnant the last few months, like financially, like at a standstill with everything, my career and everything. So.
Ooh, yeah, and in a 2-year as well that you're still in, it is kind of that feeling like you're not moving because you're nurturing. Remember, you're still nurturing right now, and you can't, the seeds that you planted from 15 to 16, they're never going to grow unless you give them a little water, and that's why this emotional energy is in your space right now. But you're meant to cooperate with it, understand it, get into it a little bit, and know that what's coming in the summertime is about growth starting to happen from what you planted 15 to 16. So you'll see that there's going to be movement. I promise you that. The movement is coming, but patience is required in the meantime. But working through your emotions is and if you, follow every new and full moon every month, it's also very significant to understand what is happening in your chart overall. If you just know the simplicity of a new and a full moon. And I have a great mailing list. I always do lunar forecasts twice a month, so hop on the mailing list. It's on any page of my website at sharitastar.com. So hop on board and join the tribe. We'll get you aligned.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for calling, love.
You're welcome, Shannon.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
You too. Thanks for calling. Area code 916 is our next caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Nancy from California.
Hey, Nancy, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank
Good. Do you have a question?
you. Yeah, well, actually, I was wanting to call in because you mentioned I am a Leo and I have Pisces rising. I have 28 degrees Pisces. Yeah, it's funny. I have 28 degrees Pisces rising with Aries intercepted, and my sun and moon and Pluto are in Leo in the 5th house. And I was curious.
Oh,
yeah.
You're a creative one.
But I was curious what this year is going to bring. And
okay, so what's your day and month, Nancy?
August 2nd.
August 2nd. This must be
if you could speak up a little bit. Yeah, speak up a little bit, Nancy. It's hard to hear you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. August
There
2nd.
you go. Okay.
August 2nd.
Yeah, awesome.
There you go. Good.
There you go.
So
Thank
Nancy,
you.
You're finishing up a year of new beginnings. So you've been seeing you're in the one, what we say, if it's new, it's for you year. And you still have a few more months to go through August. So you're definitely in that space of inviting new opportunities or checking all the new things out. Whatever you saw, conclude, leave, and get out of your space. 2015 through 16 was about you clearing and closing off the last 9-year chapter of your life. So you saw a lot of things end 2015 to 16, but since last summer, it's all been about new. The new, if it's for you, the theme in your life. So there's a lot of, right now you're kind of reflecting creatively from that last eclipse. That was the lunar one in Leo, but you're getting ready for really new beginnings in your creative nature. And you'll go into a 2-year, which means you're going to, just what we were talking about with Shannon before, you're going to be in that nurturing phase coming up, 17 moving into 18. So it'll be that emotional space. So you're going to take all the seeds that you're going to continue to plant some more. you're going to take those and give them a little water coming up in the summertime. And I would say for you creatively, that is really where you're going to start to see this happening the most. Because you've got the eclipse coming on the 21st. So your creative nature or anything you're doing with your children, if you have physical children, it would apply to that area of your life as well. But should you not have the kids, physically, your brain children are included in that category. So it's anything that you're creating, in that way. And so with the current Venus retrograde, it's going to be the same solar. Well, for you, let's see now. So if you have late Pisces, that means Aries is your first house. So this Venus retrograde is about you reflecting on how you value the approach to your life. And what are you doing to kind of do some research and kind of cleanse that out a little bit? And it would be just after, basically the Venus is going to retrograde over your ascendant back into your 12th house for the end of it, which would be just those last couple of weeks in April. If you're like would you say you were 28 degrees?
Yes.
Pisces? Yeah,
Pisces.
so the Venus is going to go back to 26 degrees of Pisces. So it's going to basically, let me just look at my ephemeris because that's the most accurate way to get the information. So 28. So right around April 6th, 7th, that's when the Venus will be on your ascendant, moving back into your 12th house throughout the 15th. And then it'll turn around, and then it'll take about another week or so to get back over your ascendant. So that last part of this Venus retrograde for you from the natal chart perspective is about you really taking time for yourself, going into that inner work space, the subconscious, working with your dreams, really kind of wherever little like esoteric dives you'd like to go on, or any little spiritual dives, I like to say, you'll really notice that it's how you value your time by yourself is that really what the tail end of the Venus retrograde is going to bring to you, towards you, from that very personal perspective. And again, going back to what we discussed with Shanna before, the collective side of looking at it is that this is about going back into your old learning, things you believe, exploring your truth, kind of clearing that out a little bit, and dumping what you don't need. And then April 2nd, it goes back for a Leo. It'll go back in that area of wealth, in that core rebirth, that source energy rebirth that anybody can experience. But the Leo is going to get that on the tail end of this Venus retrograde. So you're really in a like the last part of it for you from the natal chart and from the solar chart, looking at it that way. A lot of powerful rebirths for you as well. So it's really nice when we get to, use these retrogrades to our advantage instead of resisting what they want us to do. When we resist reflection, that's when people get in trouble. And they, again, most retrograde cycles will tell you don't, the inner planet ones. Mercury will tell you it's not a good time. Mercury retrograde cycles say it's not a good time. Just start new things. You want to go back to what already exists, and the same thing applies to Venus. You don't want to be starting new adventures in your life right now. It's just not that favored. We want to go back to what we've already established and look at the value of it. Do we like it? Do we not? And that's how we work with the cycles instead of resisting, again, what they want us to do. What happens is when we plant under retrograde, we plant in error because there's something not right with it. And we end up later having to go back and fix it, or it's just not energetically on. It's like building a foundation on the sand. It's not going to stand up that well, and that's why we want to really watch retrograde cycles. And again, don't do things that we're not meant to be doing. And we get the results we want better this way. So, there's that tagline expression, timing is everything. And that is what astrology teaches us, is to respect how timing works in our life.
Okay. Well, that was really helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
Keep enjoying. If it's new, it's for you. Just reflect a little in these next couple months, but You've got more things coming, so enjoy them.
Okay, will do. Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Nancy.
you. Thanks for your call.
Okay, bye-bye.
727 is our next caller. Hi, I have an idea where you're calling from. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Lisa. I'm calling from Florida.
Hey, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm
Very
good,
well,
thanks.
thank you, Lisa.
Yes. So do I just ask some kind of question, or how does this work?
Sure. Yeah, I'm in Clearwater, Florida, in your neck of the woods, so I'd help you locally anytime you ever need it at jimmymackhealing.com. If you have an astrological, numerological question, Sharita's on the line right now. Go for it.
Yeah, and just your day, month of birth, Lisa, and then we can answer your question very easy. Please.
Oh, okay. My birthday is April 3rd, 1971.
Okay, great. So you're an Aries.
Yeah.
You have been, you're finishing up. Of course, you're almost done with your year here. This has been a very reflective year for you overall. You've been in that, we call it the inner work year, the sharpening of the inner saw, really working on you from the inside out in that regard. And for you, you would go back to 2010. And that was a time in your life where you saw what we've been talking about with the first two listeners and callers about that new, if it's new, it's for you energy. That was when you were in your last one personal year. So you planted a lot of seeds in your life, 2010, and whatever left your life in 2009 was about ending the last 9 years. So there was a lot of conclusions. So your pivotal years were 2009 moving into 2010. So you built a new foundation in your life through 2014. You had a lot of leverage, movement, blossoming of some kind, permanent, irreversible changes filtered through the life 2014 to 15. 15 to 16 was about feeling like there was a balance, a sense of peace of mind coming back into play. But now you've been really taking what you did in the previous 6 years, and you've been working on you and working on Lisa. But what's coming and what you'll be moving into in less than a month's time now is your harvest year. So you're going to be moving into a space where the fruit that, the vegetables, the garden, everything is ripe for the picking. Everything is ready to go. There's a lot of work involved in the year ahead, and the reason why you did the self-reflection work was because you kind of needed that time in order to be really ready to reap this harvest, these recognition and rewards that are part of what an 8 year is about. Now, for an Aries, you're going to see this the most in understanding your higher learning, your how you kind of take on beliefs in your life, what your truth is. That's really where all of this comes into play. If you dabble and you are a 3, I don't know how much foreign traveling you like to do, or at least you're a thirsty learner one way or the other. And a lot of people learn through traveling very, very well, and that's something I would definitely say would work for you in this lifetime. But there's a lot of, I want to say, responsibilities that you may find that you need to go take a trip somewhere, or there's something you're really going to responsibly learn in a whole different way coming up over the course of the next year. And right now, of course, the Venus retrograde for you is about you understanding the value of how you take on your approaches to life, what you do to appear to this world, and how you emerge, how you there's a reflective energy that wants to come up with that. And the tail end of it, right after, just before your birthday, will go back, and for an Aries, it'll go back into your inner space. So even though you're sort of done with it from the numbers side of things, those first couple weeks of April are still in this very reflective mode for you through the 15th for sure. And what you do to spend your time in your solitude, what you do to get your spirituality going, and honor it and respect it. So that's where you're going to see what's going on. I don't know if there's old things you used to do by yourself that you may notice that you may want to go back and see what you used to like about something you used to do by yourself, just do that healing for yourself. if there's courses you've taken or, just different things you've done to like kind of get away from it all. But it'll be nice to reflect on things you've already done to kind of, fill that space in your life, if that makes sense.
Okay. Thank you. That was helpful.
You're welcome. But yeah, it's a very, and you'll see like the real results of what this harvest is about really moving into September. So don't like be worried that, I've popped into this year and nothing's happening yet. The real, I want to say some really like juicy results show up in September for you. And October and November also very pivotal as far as everything moving forward in the way that you've been looking for it to go. But in an 8-year, you also need a lot of patience, which I know for an Aries doesn't always come that easily. So be gentle with yourself over the course of the next year, and know that what is coming is about the responsibility. So there is great responsibilities that are part of what this year is about overall.
Okay.
That you're meant to kind of adhere to and equally learn from. There's a lot of learning from the experiences as well associated with an 8-year. And I want to say connections for you as well, whether they be business or personal. Who you meet in this year is very critical, or people you've already known. I also want to say people that you met back in 15 to 16 may be very significant in moving forward with certain things over the course of this next year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling in. We'll help you in any way we can, and reach out anytime if we can help you. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Area code 904 is our next caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hi.
I'm
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Denise. I'm calling from Jacksonville.
Hi, Denise. How are you? You have a question for Sharita?
Actually, I think it's for you. I've been waking up with a lot of anxiety in the mornings, and the doctors can't figure out why.
When is your birthday, Denise?
May 17th, 1968.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll work on you in just a second here, and we'll let her get the astrology part in first, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So Denise, you're in a year in your life right now where you are understanding the difference between what you're allowing, what you've been tolerating, and what you're really energetically meant to be allowing. You're overcoming. And of course you're going to switch. In about 2 months, you'll be switching into your what we know as your 5-year. There's a lot of changes coming up for you in 2017, and moving and working with overcoming the obstacles, so to speak. So you would also go back to 2013. That was when you saw a very strong cycle of new beginnings in your life. You're in the essence of creating the last wall of finishing the last wall of the foundation that you've been building in your life since 2013. And this is the year where the leverage is coming. I do want to say, with the Venus backtracking right now for Taurus, this is in your area of inner work. So you could be feeling like there is a lot of anxiety in just maybe not feeling comfortable in your solitary space. It could be a lot of that circulating and moving around. And I want to say after the 2nd of April is when you really want to reflect on the future. Kind of like get out the old ideas. Like, what have you been really doing in the vision work about the future? Because the last part of the Venus retrograde is really favoring Tauruses to kind of like recycle and revamp what their future goals are. And kind of look at things a little differently. And then after the 15th, you'll see some forward motion with that. But it's like a lot of, I want to say, and we'll see what Jimmy may or may not agree, for a lot of what you're doing, especially in the energy you've been over the past year, it's been a lot of mind over matter for you. So it's finding ways to not allow your mind to be in control in such a way that you're letting that be. It's more of whatever the situations are that have shown up in the life, it's about, again, not tolerating, but allowing. And when you allow things to happen, there's a freedom that shows up in your life. And you are in control of what is going on at that point. Because when you tolerate something, you're not. You're not in control when you're in this space of tolerance. If that makes sense. And I also want to say for Taurus in general, remember that, you're not the biggest fan of change. You're a lot like a tree. And I always use the analogy of a tree to really describe Taurus energy, because if you take a look at a tree, especially if it's one that lives in seasons, you take a picture of the tree every day, the tree doesn't look like it's changing at all. But if you take a picture of it 4 times a year, it obviously is very different. So your change, when it happens, you like gradual change and slow change. But the year coming up is about fast change. So that, like, you can get out of the space as quickly as you would like to. And I'll hand it off to Jimmy.
I love it. No, that's well said. And my girlfriend's Taurus, so oh my God, tree is it. You're right. It's fun. Fun. She's a scream. She likes to do the same. She's like a little kid. She likes to do the same things over and over again and go to the same places and order the same exact things. She doesn't like change at all. It's quite funny.
It's
sweet and endearing, though. It makes me laugh.
Fixed earth energy. Yeah. It's rooted.
Yeah, it makes me laugh.
It's changed real slow.
Yeah. Hey, you want to stand up, face due north, rock some stuff out? Go for it.
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Go with I am clear.
You
go forward, backward, in between. You're waking up with anxiety. That tells me you're doing some exotic traveling at night. You might be taking different meds and different things, and those are affecting you as well. They're giving me the falling sensation, which means you almost come back into your body and do that jump thing in the morning. Does that make sense?
I haven't been doing the jump thing, but yeah, I've had some really weird.
You understand what I'm saying?
Dreams.
It's more of it's more of a symbol than you doing it. So, but go ahead and say I am clear and see if you go forward, back, or in between.
I am clear. So it's a no.
Yeah, so I'm going to change all that to yes for you. And that would be clear of exotic negative energy, dark energy, curses, spells, hexes. We pick up this stuff all the time. It's like walking around in retrograde, and we were going to get you out of that real quick. It's going to pull you forward when it comes into yes.
Okay, it's a yes. I have a question before we move on. I have your book.
Okay.
I've been practicing on my own. And you've mentioned in your books to stay with it until you come back to neutral on a question.
Correct.
I never come back to neutral. I'm constantly rocking back and forth.
Right, but you got to wait until that releases and then brings you back to neutrality. Right now you're neutral, right? Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so there you go.
I fall back to now.
Yeah, but that's your belief. That's going to be your belief. So, we might need to work again on it just to get you squared away, okay? Like you may not, like I show right now, it shows you are at neutral, but you may feel like you're at neutral, no, and that's pulling you back to signify weakness, no, or, going in reverse, okay? And you have to be able to give up this anxiety. I'd work on you for anxiety, yes, and release that to no. I'd work on you for, just as an example, it would be learned all the lessons I needed to from anxiety. That's going to be no. I would wait, fish it out, change it to yes. I mean, we're in the middle of a radio show right now, but you can imagine that might take 15 minutes to do 3 things. It just is. This is something you've had for a very long time. And the other thing I would say to all of it is learned all the lessons I needed to from it would be no. You want to change that to yes. And having anxiety still serves me as yes. And I'd release that to no. And then I'd go deeper and say I wake up with anxiety every day. That's going to be yes. When you fish it out to no, you might be in the wave for 3 to 5 minutes straight, and then all of a sudden it'll drop you back to no. The next morning you'll wake up anxiety-free. And I've seen it over and over and over again for decades. But that's the kind of ghosty, weird stuff that comes up. Immediately they're jumping to your house. Your house is unclear. Test is yes. So you want to work on your house. You've probably got some weird ghosty stuff in the house. My granddaughter was here last week. She's 2 years old. She got ready to leave. And my son called me and goes, you won't believe what Charlie just said. I said, what's that? And he said, Charlie said, I love going to Grandpa's house because there's so many ghosties there. Isn't that funny? Right. And of course, I got good ghosties in my house, but here she is at 2, and at 2 years old, nobody said you can't see ghosts. She sees them. So as a wild Gemini, I'll let Sharita talk to that, but that's quite funny, right? For 2 years old. So you get the idea. So right now, I'm just seeing you as, ghost-free, entity-free, all those things. And I'm coming out with another audio in April, actually, that's all about curses, hexes, spells, fear, dark matter. And you listen to that, and that would clear that off of you, too, because you're jumping into waves of anxiety, they're saying. Does that help?
Okay. That does help. So it's not physical at all. It's nothing I can go to a doctor about.
You have no physical issue right now as far as anxiety goes. And everybody ever tells me they have anxiety, they don't have anxiety. They have anxiety, stress. It always shows up as tension. You want to work on the word tension when we hang up. Okay? Everybody who's ever told me in decades they have anxiety or they're stressed, I always jump to tension. And if they're standing in my living room, phone, or Skype worldwide, they'll go, oh, I have anxiety. And they'll go, no, I'm stressed. No, tension. Boom, yes. So you want to free up this tension or this undercurrent, this river that's running underneath your house, if you will, of undercurrent of, anxiety. It's really not. It's just a tension-filled issue. Okay? And if I can help you even in 15 minutes, reach out anytime, honey. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye. 727 is our next caller. Hi. I have a clue on where you're calling from. What's your name?
Hello, is it me?
Hi. How are you, me? You have a question for Sharita? Hey, you're a Leo.
Hi, Jimmy Mack. You're the best. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, thank you.
I had a miracle with Jimmy Mack.
Yeah, tell people in under 30 seconds about your miracle from this last week's show.
I will. My miracle is that I really kept having deals fall through to have a new career. And Jimmy Mack and Charlotte got on the phone with me, and they just whacked it out of me. And I got off the phone. I declared what I felt was again, and I literally made a call, and the very next day I was employed with money in my account. They sent me in advance within 3 hours.
Oh, that's dreamy. I love it. Hey, tell Sharita what your month and day of birth is, and she can look up your stuff too, because I know you're Leo.
Yes, we're Leos. It's 8/9/61.
Good. Well, this is the harvest year, so congratulations on that. And of course, February was a month of new beginnings for you. So you hit the nail on the head, as we say.
I'm sorry, what was that? Pardon?
I would. Okay, which part didn't you catch?
Did you say full steam ahead? I couldn't hear that.
No, I said you hit the nail on the head. You're in a year of harvest, recognition, and reward, going back to really what you planted back in 2009. But this is a year in your life, again, since last summer, that you're meant to be recognized for what it is that you're good at and what you've been working towards. February overall was a month of new beginnings for you. So it's all about, you're moving forward within, this year of the recognition and reward. So off you're going. You, of course, another Leo, this Venus retrograde right now is redefining your truth, your beliefs, and of course that all just happened as well, I think, in a certain way. So congratulations on that as well. And I want to say for you creatively, whatever you're doing creatively in your life this year, or any associations with physical children, this is also where you're seeing a lot of rewards coming in. And this is still going to be, filtering through until the summertime. And then you're going to go into the year of letting go and wrapping it up, and having 2017 to 18 is really about being to the nines. It's an elevating year, but it's also going to clear out a lot of what you no longer need, so that by 2018, the summer of 18, you will be in a whole different experience of if it's new, it's for you. So, it's a very good year to be, again, reaping your harvest. That's what you're meant to be doing this year. So,
great.
Enjoy.
Oh, thank you.
Love it.
I wondered if I could get my left shoulder and my eyes. They're just miserable with the contacts, and if you could put the whammy on me, Jimmy.
Oh, I'll do it right now. Stand up. We'll just do it really quick.
Standing. Yep.
All right. So both of those are going to test as weak. It's going to pull you back. Just tell me when you're there. We'll grab them.
Yep,
and then it's going
back.
to release all that negative weakness and strong weakness, holding it in place. Have her learn all the lessons she needed to from it. Release her from the service to it. Going to pull you straight forward when the shoulder comes in better and the eyes come in better. It's going to feel like somebody's filling you up with energy.
Yeah, I'm just rocking back and forth and falling over.
Okay. Yeah, it's just taking out all the negativity, and then it's going to pull you straight forward.
Pulled me forward, and I love that. Wow, it keeps pulling. I'm falling over. Wow.
Well, keep in mind, you got two eyes. Yeah, you got two eyes and a shoulder. You actually got two shoulders. So we're going to, you'll feel it rocking forward a couple times for the eyes, a couple times for the shoulder, and there you go.
Oh, wow. And I love your hex and curses. I felt so much energy. It was incredible. I love that. I've listened to it about 10 times. So woohoo! It's awesome.
It scares a lot of people, but it's real as real can be. That's going to come out in April. But it's really about dark matter, and it's about fear. So many people are walking around in fear. One of the statements in there is it's safe and comfortable. And none of us are safe and comfortable with anything. You turn on the news, or we're always adjusting a thermostat in the car or the house, taking a sweater off, putting it back on, And so you want to come to a place where you're more safe and comfortable and clear. So there you go.
It's wonderful.
Thanks for calling, love.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Love you. And thank you. Love you, Sharita. Thank you.
You're
Bye
welcome.
Now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Wow, Sharita, did it fly by or what, our time?
Always does, right?
It does. I know. Tell people how to get a hold of you, honey, your main website, your email address, your phone number, whatever's best to get a hold of you, because people need to really be more in tune with their astrology, their numerology, and at least, if you haven't done a life plan, at least be aware of some of these things so they don't knock you off your butt so bad, right? So tell folks how to get a hold of you, because you need a plan, and I think it's awesome.
Yes, that's basically what astrology and numerology are here for. It gives us a map and how to follow for ourselves. Not what everybody else is doing, but you should be doing for yourself. So it's profound how it will get into that. Timing is everything. That is no joke. But yeah, and I encourage people as well, sign up on any page on my website, sharitastar.com. Timing is everything, tips and tools. Just get in the space of understanding cycles, because that is when we honor and respect these cycles, we get a much better result in our life. than not knowing why something's going haywire. When we're in awareness of eclipses and retrograde cycles and, all sorts of things. And again, when should we put our foot on the gas? There is always a precise and correct time to be doing that.
I love it.
It's great to get involved.
Thanks so much. Thanks for being on the show. We really appreciate it, honey. Always a pleasure. It always is very fascinating to me, so I love it. Hey, folks, remember, make progress. Yeah, and remember, folks, make progress every day, and my wish for you is the rest of your life will be the best of your life. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Do you wake up every day hoping your car's battery has one more start left? Now is the time to replace it with a quality Autocraft battery, because during the Advance Auto Parts Tax Madness Savings Event, you save 15% when you spend $50 or more, 20% when you spend over $100, and 25% when you spend over $150. In-store or online. Just text SAVE to 36898 to receive your coupon. Offer available at Advance Auto Parts at participating CarQuest stores. Ends March 12th.